explain to us a bit about the area of design that you see yourself working in?
I would like to be designing for positive social impact, so anything in the third sector, like non-for-profits and charity work. I'm also really interested in projects that have a positive effect on community, so smaller scale stuff that isn't necessarily corporate. That's where I see myself in the next few years, is designing for those kind of people.
Could you explain to us a little bit about the process that you go through when creating a project?
I look at, rather than kind of designing the visuals or focusing on that, I'm more about lots of research into who the project is for, and developing and designing strategies to resolve whatever issues arise. So it might not necessarily be a visual outcome, or it will have supporting visual outcomes, but what I'm mostly interested in is designing the strategies for solving the problems, and considering all the impacts of engagement tools.
Do you think that the process that you go through in the way that you do, like creating the work, affects the outcomes in a specific way?
I don't think I have a really specific personal style, and I think the process that I have of really analysing research means that the outcomes are completely informed by that, rather than sort of having a strict style and letting that have an impact on the visual aesthetics. Usually whatever I produce will look different from anything I have done in quite a big way, because it's all based on what's best for the brief that's come from the research.
Could you maybe tell us why you've adopted this style of working?
I think it's just a natural progression from over the past 3 years of testing out various briefs, working with various industry partners. I think you learn your best way of working, and I always really need good reasons to do stuff, to make things. Yeah.
Cool. I don't know if you just want to jump straight into the question.
So when I talk about designing a strategy, for me it's kind of a posh way of saying designing ideas, but the ideas tend to follow a structure and come from solid insights from the research. So my final major project was based on helping some volunteers who look after Nursery Road Park engage with the wider community to get more help to look after the park. So based on observation of the park in general and a workshop with the Friends of Nursery Road Park, that's who the volunteers are, I designed engagement strategies, so ways that will help the Friends build a relationship with other people in the area, rather than the people that are already willing to help. One of them was simply making the most of the information platform they have, which is just a notice board. But that's the only platform they have control over. Everything else is run by the council. So, and they weren't really using it effectively. So I designed kind of a rota of elements that they can put up with every new season, and it's all updatable, so laminated card just so they can write events on whiteboards, and coloured card that's from their colour palette, which keeps their brand consistent, and just basically makes them look more professional to other people who are using the park, and they're more trusted. Hopefully people feel more confident to go to a trusted body rather than a neighbour that they don't really know.
Is there a way that this process that you have for working has affected your general day-to-day life?
Yeah, I guess outside of university, I've ended up being involved in the local brownies in my area to create games for them based on a location in my town, which is a park. So it comes directly from an idea that I used in my final major project, which bases activities on a local location. So kids might go to the park all the time, but this game gives them a new way of exploring it using physical activities like running and skipping, all those kinds of things, which kind of goes along with tackling childhood obesity and things like that. So it's really relevant for the brownies. They have to be seen to be having a really positive impact on the little girls' health and lives in general. So I'm involved with that now and have to make some games for them to use in local parks, which is really good.